I want to warn you, if you continue this way, you'll be entering our hunting ground.
Hello fluffy tails, I'm the serious Squirrel and welcome to Gothic. I had this let's play planned for a long time, but never actually thought that I could do a longer let's play. But then again I thought, screw it, let's just do it. That rhymed, and it was good. Anyway, this is originally a German game, so I only ever played the German version. So this is a new experience for me as well to play the English version, so you guys can understand everything. And before I ramble on and all, let's just start into the game. And because I have recording issues, you will see my beautiful face the whole time. I hope you don't mind. Alright, let's start.
The kingdom of Murtana, united by King Robar II. During the long years of his reign, he was able to defeat all foes of his realm. All except one. The war against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army, and every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Corinus. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley. I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicate structure of magic. We were trapped inside our own barrier. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Corinus was now under the control of the convicts. The king had no choice. He had to negotiate. He needed the ore. Month after month, the king supplied everything the prisoners needed. Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day. Another convict was brought to the cliff. He did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Verant, I sentence this convict to...
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well, I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
How dare you?
Keep silent. Right, send him in.
Welcome to the colony.
That's enough. Leave him alone. And now scram. Get up.
I'm Diego. I'm not interested in who you are. You've just arrived. I look after the new arrivals. That's all for now. If you plan to stay alive for a while, you should talk to me. But of course, I won't keep you from choosing your own destruction. Well, what do you think?
Okay, what do I need to know about this place?
We call it the colony. You'll know already that we produce ore for the king. Well, at least we do, in the old camp. There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
How do I get to the old camp?
You just follow this path. The old camp is the next reasonably safe-looking place you'll come across. There are a lot of wild beasts between the camps. You'd be mad to walk around without a weapon.
Well, let's find a weapon. That's our next objective.
Where do I get a weapon?
When you get to the old mine, have a look around. I'm sure you'll find something useful. The mine is easy to find. It's just a few meters along the canyon.
Alrighty.
Why did you help me?
Because you needed help. Otherwise, Bullet and his boys might have killed you. And I couldn't just stand by and watch, because I came all this way to make a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yes. After this little incident with Bullet and his guys, you should be aware now that you need protection. Everyone who arrives here has a choice. There are 3 camps in the colony, and you'll have to join one of them. I'm here to show the new ones that the old camp is the best place for them.
So there's actually 3 camps. The old camp, the new camp, and the swamp camp. And I will play quests for every camp, and then at one point I'm going to let you decide which camp we join. So Fluffy Tails interaction galore in this Let's Play. Let's just say that, okay? We're gonna put you guys into the business as well.
Where's Bullet now?
He and the others bring the goods from the outside world into the camp. You'll find him there, but if you plan to fight him, be careful. He's an experienced warrior.
Alrighty.
I have a letter for the High Magician of the Circle of Fire.
Really?
I was given it by a mage shortly before they threw me in here.
You're lucky I can't afford to show my face around the mages anymore. Anyone else would gladly slit your throat for that letter. That's because the mages pay their couriers a lot, and most people here don't have anything. If I were you, I'd shut up until I met one of the mages. Although in your situation, that's not likely to happen.
Why not?
The mages are in the castle in the old camp. Only Gomez's people are allowed to enter the castle.
Who's Gomez?
Gomez is the most powerful ore baron. He's the boss of the old camp, the most powerful man in the colony.
Let's assume I want to join his people. What do I need to do?
At the gate of the castle, you'll find a man called Thoris. Tell him Diego sent you.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
We'll meet in the old camp.
Will do, Diego. You should remember that name because it will be very important. First off, I activated subtitles for you guys so you can actually read what is said, and this game has the most weird controls of them all because I'm actually playing with keyboard only. Yes, there are mouse controls, but they are even wonkier than the keyboard controls, and I'm kind of used to play the game with the keyboard, so I'm just gonna do it. As you can see, this game is a little older, came out in 2001, I think, but in my opinion, it holds up to this day. I still think that it's got its own charm. And in my opinion, it's beautiful. I have some mods activated that actually let me play in 1080p, so we got that going, Fluffy Tails. And yeah, we are going to... I did a boo-boo there. I want to have all of that stuff, please. Give it to me. Thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, we're going to make our way to the old camp. And we'll see what that's all about in this episode. So we just now found an axe that we can use as a weapon. And we might need that weapon because, as far as I know, there is already a beastie over there that we are going to kill, but not with the what's it called? Pickaxe? but with this rusty sword that we just found. And you might see that we have found an ore. Ore is actually the currency in this game. So you don't have any money or something like that, but you trade with people, so they give you the stuff you want. And ore is, like I said, the most known currency. You can also trade with weapons, you can also trade with plants or stuff like that. Whatever you have in your inventory, you can basically sell. So if you don't need arrows, sell the arrows. It's 1 ore a piece. And that poor guy got smashed. I don't want to be in his shoes. Although his shoes are smashed as well, so... overall, shitty situation for him. Let's go up here. As I said, controls are wonky. And a little buggy, so... yeah. If I don't get up here, don't be surprised. Okay, screw that. There's only some goblins up there. We don't care for the goblins. There's also a little ore, but we don't really need that ore right now. What we want to do is eat a blueberry, so we can get our health back, as represented in the health bar to that side, that red thingy over there. That's the health bar. You might have figured. The hut is super stylish. It's nearly invisible. God talking. And we found an old sword that's even better than my sword that I have now. Yeah, as I said, it's super stylish. You nearly don't notice it, except for the occasional health bar of beasties and the occasional XP pop-up. Sorry if I have some pauses in between the sentences. I'm trying to concentrate on actually playing the game, because I have to get used to the keyboard controls again. What I also want to do is keep the episodes of the game a little longer. So I'm aiming for the 20 minute mark. If that's too long for you guys, you just tell me and I will reduce the length. But as I said, this is a super long game and it's an RPG, so we have to explore a lot. And we also have to talk a lot, and sometimes the talking might take half the episode. But I can promise you that every conversation we're going to have is amazing. Because all the characters in here are unique. They're one of a kind. And you might figure out why all of those guys are actually in prison. So let's talk to these guys first.
You're hunting, aren't you?
Looks like it. What do you want?
Do you have some hints for the hunt?
I could teach you a few things, but everything has its price.
Which would be how much?
A good gulp of beer will do to start with. Then we'll see.
See? Screw money. Beer is what it's at.
Here you are. Take a beer and tell me about hunting.
Scavengers. That's what we call the big birds. Should be attacked one after the other. It's easy to lure single scavengers from the pack. If you come too close, they'll become irritated. After a while, they'll storm in your direction. At this point, you should be waiting for them with a raised weapon. If you manage to strike the beast before it hits you, you have to keep fighting. Then you'll be able to defeat the creature without being hurt yourself. If it hits you first, well, just don't let him.
So those guys are from the new camp, just so you see what the armor looks like, so you can decide maybe a little based on that. So,
What else can you tell me about hunting?
A lot, but it'll cost you more than a beer.
I thought
if you
so.
know how, you can take the creature's teeth, claws, and skin. It's hard to get them, but they are valuable. At least every merchant will trade those things with you.
And as you can see, skill points are present, and okay, the occasional ore is needed for things like that, but it's worth it, and we're going to learn it at one point, but first we need some ore, so not now.
Hey, you.
What do you want?
I want to warn you, if you continue this way, you'll be entering our hunting ground.
Wee-ha!
What do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. There's a lot of meat on them. Besides, it ain't too hard to get them, once you know how.
Really? How's that?
Ask my friend Drax here. He knows more about these things than anyone.
I love the accents. The voiceover is done mainly by the producers, so they're all German. And that's why there are so many hilarious accents there.
Why is this area so dangerous?
You've just arrived, haven't you? There are different areas in this colony which are all more or less dangerous. The paths between the camps are quite safe, but even there you might come across some wolves which look on you as easy prey. And that's exactly what you are until you get a proper weapon and armor.
Yes, sir.
Where can I get better equipment?
The nearest place is that old camp. Just follow the path that brought you here. But you can get the stuff cheaper in our new camp, provided you know the right people. If you go to the old camp, ask for Mordrag. He's one of us. For just a little ore, he'll sell you the proper goods.
Okay, you know what? We gotta move on. He told us enough. He told us some guy that we could look up, and we're probably going to do that at one point. But right now, I want to kill that scavenger. As you can see, that scavenger hit me first, so I'm in for a bad time. No, I'm actually not, of course, because we're awesome. And fighting those young scavengers is actually not a problem at the moment. Juvenile scavenger, I'm sorry. Of course, it's juvenile. Let's just say young. It's an easier word for the same thing. Also, hilarious jumping animation. For your pleasure. Let's pick those blueberries, and there's already a beer. Perfect. We just gave one away, and now we take one again. We can also take the tumbler with us, of course, because everybody needs a tumbler in medieval Germany or stuff like that, so let's go.
Where do you think you're going?
To the camp.
You ain't come to make trouble, have you?
Hey,
Diego says I'm to meet him in the camp.
Okay, in you go then.
thank you. So these are guards. That's the higher level of old camp people, just for your info. We have to do a lot of work before we can become those guys.
There must be something.
And those are shadows. No, that's not a shadow, wait. I'll tell you, show you shadow. Shadow. They're shadow people. Shadow are the first tier of guys in the old camp. And there is, of course, the miners. But we're not gonna be a miner, so don't worry about that. Anyway, we find Diego again.
What about the two other camps?
The two other camps split up to pursue their crazy escape plans. There's the new camp in the west of the colony, where the mages think they can just detonate the barrier as soon as they've scraped enough ore together. And then there's the sect loonies in the east. Their camp is in the middle of the swamp, and they're praying to their idol to set them free. He hasn't responded so far. If I were you, I wouldn't waste my time on those madcaps.
But if you guys think it's worth it, I'm totally going to do that.
Tell me something about the old camp.
It's the biggest and most powerful of the 3 camps. Gomez and his guys control the camp and thereby the whole ore trade. Once a month, the king sends us everything we need. We've got the old guy in our grip, you understand? He sends us wine, bread, meat, weapons, everything. You can also get some of it. All you have to do is join Gomez's people.
Take care.
Well, alrighty, let's talk to Taurus.
I want to work for Gomez.
Oh, yeah?
And offer help.
What makes you think Gomez will be interested in having you work for him?
Diego says you decide who Gomez is interested in.
Huh? If Diego thinks you're okay, why doesn't he take care of you? Look, let me explain. Diego's gonna test you. If he thinks you're good enough, I'll let you into the castle to see Gomez. Whatever happens after that is up to you, okay?
I'll talk to Diego. Why don't you give me the test?
It ain't that easy, kid. Any newcomer who wants to get anywhere needs a patron. That patron has to be one of Gomez's people. He'll test you, and if you fail, you're his responsibility. That's the law around here.
There must be something you want done.
No, the things we guards deal with are a bit above you, kid. You just stick to the tasks your patron sets for you.
I'm quite capable of doing anything you tell me to.
Oh, so you're intent on failing, eh? There is one thing that only someone who's not with Gomez can see to. But I'm warning you, you blow this and you'll be in mighty big trouble.
I'm ready for your task.
What I'm about to tell you is between you and me, and nobody else must ever hear about it. Understood?
Sure.
We have a problem with a guy from the new camp. His name's Mordrag. He's been stealing from the ore barons. Of course, that applies to a lot of the rogues in the new camp. But this guy has the nerve to come to our camp and sell our stolen goods to our boys. He's gone too far. But he knows I can't do anything about it.
Why?
Because he's under the protection of the mages.
Why do the mages protect that Mordrag?
Because they use him as a gopher. Our local mages are in contact with the mages over in the new camp. They often send gophers back and forth. They're likely to become very unpleasant if I throw one of their gophers out of the camp or have him killed.
What about me? What do you think the mages will do to me?
You're new here. You'll be okay. But I'm responsible for what my boys do. That's why it's vital that you keep your mouth shut.
Do you want me to kill the guy?
I want you to make sure I never see his face around here again. I don't care how you do it.
I'll take care of it.
And with that, Fluffy Tails, we're going to end the first episode of Gothic. I know not a lot happened, the beginning is a little slow, but soon we will have a lot of quests to do and you will be amazed how deep this game is. Anyway, Fluffy Tails, I hope you had fun watching this first episode. Come back in the next one, and as always, I'll leave you with a hearty goodbye. Goodbye.